Earlier today, I spoke to the new Prime Minister, Mikati, in what was his first interview with an international media organisation since taking office. This is the third time that he has held that post, and I started by asking him why the people of Lebanon should trust him.
It's a matter of timing. The timing is important, and it is needful today to have a government. As you mentioned, 13 months without a government, vacuum at the level of government, no decision taken, collapse and more collapse in the financial sector, more collapse in all sectors, education, health, and energy. So it is time to have a government. At this stage, yes, I'm doing the quick fixes that it needs to be done immediately, especially energy, health, education, working in transparency and show the Lebanese that there is a governance, there is a transparency. That's what we are trying to do, and hopefully it will take. That's what our
I'm going to press you on this. With respect, sir, why should the Lebanese people trust you and this government? As I say, new faces, but this is a government picked by the same old political establishment, which the people of Lebanon are quite frankly fed up of.
In Lebanon, there is no coup d'etat. People they don't trust, they cannot change overnight. We are a transitory period towards change, to take the country towards election and let the people decide whoever they want later on. For at this time, they need, as I mentioned at the beginning, it's a matter of timing. They need somebody to handle. I don't like just to say manage the crisis, but at least try to stop this free fall and try to save Lebanon. That's exactly what we are going to do.
One of the most urgent economic issues that your government has to address is the country's expensive subsidies programme on fuel and on medicine, both of which we know are critically short in Lebanon at present. Are you proposing to lift these subsidies? And if so, what is your plan afterwards?
The subsidy is almost lifted because we don't have, as you mentioned, we don't have any more cash or reserve to subsidize oil or all other commodities. We are going to keep the subsidy for medicines, and especially chronic medicine. But others, it's almost lifted, and we are in a way to keep it free import of all these commodities. That's what we plan to do, because in fact we don't have the money. It's very clear. I give you an example. In the last few months, a year and more, we spend to subsidy the commodities around over 10 billion. It's much over 10 billion. We discovered that 26% of the subsidy it is used by Lebanese end user, and the 75 and 74% they were misused by traders, by corrupted people, and that's what we are going to investigate where this money done. So this is very important to stop the subsidy and to start to build up Lebanon in connection and with very good negotiation with IMF, World Bank, and all the friends in international community.
2 of the 24 ministers selected in your cabinet belong to the Hezbollah party. Hezbollah has publicly supported your premiership. Do you support them?
I'll tell you frankly, I'm very pragmatic, and I see what I care for Lebanon. How I can save Lebanon. I have 2 ministers, yes, they are friends of Hezbollah, and Hezbollah as a political party exists in Lebanon. So I cannot bypass this community. I cannot bypass this party. And they let's say, I have 2 specialized people that I can deal with. My objective today, I'm saying, please put political aside. Let us see how we can save this country. This country, it was to be saved. We have good people and we have good resources and we can save it. So if we would like to start to stay, this one is from this party, the other from the other party, we will never save this country.
Were you forced to take those two cabinet members? Were you forced to take them into your cabinet?
Sorry?
Were you forced to take those two individuals?
No, I'm not forced at all. Not at all. I'm not forced at all to take them. It is my decision to make to let's say if tomorrow we are going to have a result from IMF, it has to pass through Council of Ministers. I'd like to have an unanimous decision and unanimous resolution towards implementation of this. If they are not there, it will not be implemented. So for this reason, I'd like everybody to share with me this kind of decisions.
The first of several truck convoys carrying Iranian fuel has arrived in Lebanon from Syria just yesterday. This was, of course, facilitated by Hezbollah. Do you welcome that support?
In fact, I tell you frankly, I am sad. I am sad because this is a lack of the sovereignty of Lebanon. Sovereignty of Lebanon. I prefer not make any further comment because we are trying to solve this in a very calm way.
But this shipment, as you are aware, violates US sanctions. Are you concerned Lebanon will face punishment by the US for this through sanctions, for example?
Since the Lebanese government didn't approve this, Lebanese government nobody applied to have this. We don't deal in this at all. So I don't believe Lebanese government will be subject to any sanction can be done. But I don't know what kind of procedures they are going to take for the people using this oil, this kind of fuel oil.
Hezbollah's fuel arrived before your government could deliver a shipment previously agreed with Iraq. That looks quite bad, doesn't it?
It arrived today. It is a shipment from Iraq, arrived today, and we welcome this. And here I take the opportunity again to thank the Iraqi government for this.
Hezbollah is Iran's arm inside Lebanon. They are powerful and they are influential. But with their growth, they also, let's be frank, hinder Lebanon's ability to re-engage with regional and global allies. So I ask you, sir, is there a plan to exert control over Hezbollah?
Hezbollah, as I mentioned, it is a political party in Lebanon and exists. But the most important, not to have Lebanon as a platform for any conspiracy against any other country out of Lebanon. That's the most important for me. That's what I can promise that I can do
can I just follow up? What do you mean by that?
From the outside and not let them to do. As you know, the Arab world today is taking this attitude because they believe that Hezbollah, that out of Lebanon, they making, let's say, the media, the training, things done in Lebanon. That's what they think. I don't have any proof, but I'm going to do my best to change this image of Lebanon.
Well, you have said that Lebanon needs the Arab world. Let's just start there about where Lebanon needs help at this point. How would you, for example, describe Lebanon's relationship with its Gulf allies, such as Saudi Arabia and the UAE, for example, whose relations with Lebanon have soured over the years due to Hezbollah's influence?
Lebanon is founder of the Arab League. We always, during the last decades, we are in a very good relation with the Arab world. Today, Lebanon is a tiny, small country in the Arab world. And we are looking, what I am saying, and looking for the big brother, for all Arab countries to come and to handle our hand and to take Lebanon from this mess. That's what my call for the Arab world.
And what is the response from,
Lebanon.
For example,
is very important for
Riyadh
Arab world. A stable Lebanon.
Abu Dhabi.
Stable. Sorry.
What's been the response?
Sorry.
What's been the response
from
those big brothers, for example, Saudi Arabia and the UAE?
So far, for 7 days, 7 days, I didn't have any response, neither negative or positive. But I am sure in the coming days it will be a positive response, because they are going to see how serious we are going to do and what we are working, and it is to the benefit of all the region and Arab world to have a stable Lebanon.
Well, over the last year, France, of course, has taken a lead in trying to resolve Lebanon's crisis. How much of a role did the French play, if at all, in the formation of your new government?
I'll tell you, there is nothing directly done by the French, but the French, they are making the push. They want to save Lebanon. They want a government to deal with, and they are ready to help and to support Lebanon. So they didn't go into details, but they are really a great country where they push Lebanon heavily. We push us heavily to form a government.
There is no indication that Washington has a plan to save Lebanon from its catastrophe. Many experts say that the US has simply outsourced the Lebanon file to France. Have you spoken to US President Joe Biden? And if not, what is your message to Washington at this point?
No, I didn't have the chance to talk with the president, but I received few calls from the U.S. administration, and they were all supporting the government, supporting me personally, and supporting the government. And they are saying, whenever I am ready and I have my plan, they are ready to consider and to look to this plan. What I'm looking from Washington a lot, especially when we start the negotiation with IMF, they are the one who I expect and rely on to let's say let things to be done by IMF. World Bank is helping a lot, and today, especially for the ration cards that we are making for poor and so on, so they are helping a lot, and this cannot be done without the consent of the U.S. administration.
Oh my God!
Prime Minister, I need to address the port blast. Rights groups have said that Lebanese officials have been obstructing justice. The victims' families demand answers. Which side are you on here? And will you ensure that former ministers will appear in court to answer for that deadly crime? I mean, former Prime Minister Hassan Diab has a questioning session on Monday, but he's travelled to the US. What's your position?
I'm telling you, I am supporting the justice fully, and I am after 4th of August last year, the former prime ministers and including myself, who did this statement, we asked for international investigation, and we are now today we are supporting the justice. I'm saying fully, without any hesitation, and we would like to know to have the truth. It was a real disaster and enforce a big tragedy, and we are looking forward to know the truth itself.
You've held this position a number of times in the past. Do you accept any responsibility, given your position in Lebanon and your being embedded in Lebanese politics for so many years? Do you accept any responsibility for the state of your country today?
I can say I'm not necessary to put myself with this particular class, but definitely there is a responsibility for the whole class of what Lebanon is today. Definitely, I say this, and because we were spending, we didn't have any we kept throwing the money, corruption, no governance. It was there, yes.